Welcome back to Julie's Jewels. We're on the road to the American River Endurance Runs presented by Altra. I'm here tonight with Mike Turner.
Hello, hello. So tonight we're gonna get into the course itself. We talked about the sponsors, we talked about all these different things, how you're gonna get there, where to park. Now we need to get into the course. So we'll start with the 50 miler, and we'll break that one down, and we'll kind of feather in the 25 and the 10 as we're going. So we talked about the start, Folsom Point.
Yeah, so the race for Air 50 starts at Folsom Point. 6 a.m. is that start time there. One single start, no wave starts here. Folsom Point, you're going to be taking the lower trail heading towards Browns Ravine and doing about a 7.5 mile trail loop, a combination of single track trail and some fire road in this section. So you'll make a loop from Folsom Point towards Browns back to Folsom Point, and that will be that first aid station at Folsom Point.
And that's pretty nice. So it's pretty rolling back there, as I remember. Pretty rolling terrain back there, but pretty nice in general though, right?
Yeah, very undulating, but just very, very calm in nature.
So aid station at the far end, and aid station back when you get to Folsom Point. Okay, and then there's some construction, so you'll see fencing and other stuff out there as well.
Correct. It'll all be marked in orange ribbon, so you follow the flags and any pin flags that we might have out there for the race to direct you.
Okay, so from there, now we're going back down towards Folsom, and then where are we going from there?
Yeah, so from this point, we're going to be heading on some pavement sections out of Folsom Point, heading towards Willow Creek, towards the American River Bike Trail. So Willow Creek is going to be our second aid station on the Air 50 course. And again, that's going to be all pavement into Willow Creek. And from Willow Creek, you're going to be heading around Lake Natoma to what we call the Hazel Bluffs. And from that point, the trail changes from pavement to trail.
So like Rio del Lago, you take it easy. You're going to have the pavement, it'll be a beautiful day, you're going to want to run, but there's a lot of race left to go, so.
Right. It's easy to go really fast on this section and just have your marathon PR, which we don't recommend.
So 15 miles-ish over to Willow Creek, and then you head over to Black Miners Bar from there?
Yeah, so from the Hazel Bluffs, which I just mentioned, into Black Miners Bar, you're going to be on single track trail as well as you make your way to the Black Miners Bar aid station, and then it reconnects to the pavement back to Beals Point.
So are you on top of the bluffs, or kind of there's a trail on top of the bluffs?
Yeah, we'll be taking the trail on top of the bluffs, as well as what's called the Middle Ridge Trail, and that down to the Shady Glen Stables.
Okay.
Yeah, and back to Black Miners. So
that's a nice loop.
It's a nice loop, a nice break from the pavement. So just when you had enough of the pavement, you're back on the trail, and then get a little reprieve from that.
Plus the course will thin out. At that point, you'll have 15 miles or so. The course will thin out, so you have more space to get on the single track.
Yep. And so from Black Miners, we're heading back to Beals, and again, that's all pavement. But beware, this is a sneaky little section. It's about a 3.5, maybe a 4 mile section, and it's slightly all uphill to Beals Point. So again, just pace yourself and don't go too hard as you're trying to make your way to Beals Point.
Okay, yeah, it's like interesting. So then from there, you keep heading down. Are you on single track when you head over to Granite Beach?
Yes, we're going to take the levees out of Beals Point. So 4 levees, I should know this by the top of my head, over to Granite Beach. Okay. So again, fire road and just some rolling terrain all on the trail. What kind of shoes would you be running in?
You know, I don't think you need a super technical shoe. You could get away with a good, like, I got those Ultra Forwards last year. They're the sponsor, and they are nice. I think I may wear a pair of those, like a Road Ultra.
Yeah, I think that's a great option. So check out Ultra's new shoe that they launched, and that's a great one to run Air 50, Air 25, or Air 10 in.
Okay, so from there, we're keeping on. We got Chuck Schlummeyer. We're in the rail. We're outside. It's nice. So from there, where do we go?
So from Granite Bay, we're going to be making our way toward Horseshoe Bar on the Pioneer Express Trail. And so this is where it gets a little technical, but not super technical. Again, the Ultra Forward shoe will be just fine to help you through this section. This is where you will encounter what's called the Meat Grinder, the Rock Garden. How many more names? There's
I don't know. I can't say them on live.
they're not PG approved, but so you will encounter the meat grinder, let's call it, in this section en route to Horseshoe Bar. And when you get to Horseshoe Bar, we're at mile 38. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
38. This is where the course starts. It's beautiful. You're going upstream along the river. It's just a beautiful part of the course, and it's probably the best part of the course. I would think for me.
Yeah. April, always the flowers are out in bloom. We hope, and I think that they will be. So you should see some really majestic views as you're running.
So it's not too far to the next aid station, right? It's just a few miles.
Yeah, so Horseshoe into Rattlesnake is about 2.5 miles, and once you get to Rattlesnake, you know, this is kind of the final hurrah, if you will, and you've got about 9.5 miles to the finish line from here. You can pick up a pacer here if you need, and from Rattlesnake Bar, we are still on the trail, single track trail, heading towards what's called Dowden's Post.
And then from there, the climb starts up to Auburn.
Yeah, so from Dowden's Post, we've got about 2.5 miles before the climb out of the canyon there at the base of the river there. And so we got about a mile climb up to Last Gasp from there.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. And then let's get us to the finish line.
Oh my goodness. Your last official aid station is going to be what's called Last Gasp. It's named that for a reason. So we will help you, we will support you, but at Last Gasp, the trail does turn to pavement. So your last 2.3 miles of AR50, AR25, and AR10 are going to be on the pavement. And it's a nice slow grind up to the overlook. What's your favorite way to get up there?
Well, the beauty of that is you can just chug along at a nice even pace. Your feet are tired, so you don't need to pick them up as much. You can have sloppy feet, so it's really, you can look at it as more of a little more easier to run, even though it's uphill, I think.
Yeah, and what I like to do on this section, when I run AR50, is this is a great option to run the tangents on that hill, make it a little bit shorter. So if you're into running tangents, this is a great place to do that. And like Mike said, just keep trucking along.
Yeah, and you get to the finish line. Awesome. That's a great overview of the course. So on the website, we have the aid station charts. It details where you're gonna have pacers, your drop bags, all the distances, and even the cutoffs. It's all on the website for the 25, the 10, and the 50 miler.
Right. And to summarize, the AR25 is going to start at Beals and run that second half of the course, which we went through as well. And the AR10 is going to start at Rattlesnake Bar and hit Dowden's Post and Last Gasp before getting to the finish. So all of the courses run in succession with one another, finishing in Auburn.
Never want to get to that last climb. So exciting. How lucky.
So fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us for another episode of
Julie's Jewels.